I'm Roy Robertson. Today on Good Business San Diego, we're joined once again by Jim Bottrell, a former U.S. Marine and the broker and founder of the Jim Bottrell Real Estate Team. You can reach Jim anytime at 1-833-600-SOLD and find him online at jimhasthebuyers.com. Hey, Jim, we're seeing reports of the housing market slowing and changing. So do you agree? Is this what you're seeing too?
Yeah, in the last 45 days, I've seen a complete 180-degree change in the market, the fastest I've ever seen a market change. We've gone from a full-blown seller's market with offers $100,000 over ask, buyers offering to bridge appraisal gaps by, with cash, free rent backs, to a full-blown buyer's market, which is what we're having now. The buyers are in charge now, and honestly speaking, the sellers just need to understand that.
And we're seeing reports that prices have started to decline. So are you also seeing prices on the decline, and will that continue?
Yeah, we have been seeing some prices come decline, but mostly that's been limited to those houses that were overpriced in the first place. Maybe the seller looked at what their neighbor's house sold for, just added 50 grand, can't get away with that anymore.
Right.
Or what they were doing is they were looking at what the neighbor's house sold for back in March or April when it was just hyperinflated. It was super, super hot. That value was never really there, but they seem to think that, well, that neighbor's house sold at that time, mine must be worth that much, and it's just really not. The problem is the sellers are having difficulty understanding today that the market is fundamentally different than it was just 45 or even 60 days ago. And the market has dictated the seller's not in charge anymore, the buyers are. So my advice to sellers out there is you need to get very realistic on your price. And honestly speaking, you need to get very cooperative with the buyer who's buying your home, because you can't just blow them out and expect 3 more buyers to come in next weekend. You're just not going to get that anymore. The market's not going to come to you.
Yeah, how crazy is that it's changed so quickly and so radically? Let's talk about how much you see prices coming down then. What's it going to be in the next couple of months here?
Well, I really don't think it's going to be a whole bunch. If you guys remember from a month or two ago, I was predicting that there'd be an influx of homes coming in for sale, that once people who owned extra homes, like investment properties, second homes, things like that, once they realized at the top of the market, which has already passed, by the way, that they would go ahead and sell those homes. And then that is what has happened. So we've had this big influx of properties hitting the market. I expect that influx of properties to be absorbed probably by December. But unfortunately, what has happened is when that influx was hitting over the last 45 days or so, and 60 days, the Fed has been, ramping up interest rates as fast as they can go. So every single day, interest rates go up, and that spooked the buyers. So we had this double whammy of the buyers getting spooked at the same time we had a bunch of houses, kind of a one-off hitting the market all at once. And the result is that we're having downward pressure on prices that were overinflated in the first place.
So let's talk about what you see now, pushing out a little bit toward the tail end of this year, the start of 23. What's happening? Will this now stabilize at some point? What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely, it's going to stabilize. Like I said, this is kind of a one-off of all these properties, all these investment properties hitting the market. Once they're absorbed, which I'm thinking probably going to be around December, then we're going to have a stabilization, and we're going to go back to having a shortage of homes for sale. And it might even be worse than it was, for the last 2 years. Those people that own homes, they're that primary residents that with a 2% interest rate, they're not going to move. All right. So there's just not going to be many houses for sale. And of course, how bad this gets all depends on the administration and the decisions they make. So
just a few seconds left here. Advice for people contemplating selling. Now's the time, right?
Yeah, do it now. The market's not going to come to you. Prices not going to go up. And if you are selling and buying a house, if you wait, you'll just pay a higher interest rate. So do it now.
Right. And we know the rates are going up. So don't wait. Call Jim Bottrell. Schedule a consultation. He'll break it down for you. Jim's phone number, 1-833-600-SOLD. That's 1-833-600-SOLD. Or you can go online to jimhasthebuyers.com. But do it now. It's jimhasthebuyers.com.